I want to go on Proverbs 26, verses 1 to 12, looking at aspects of the fool, lots of hyperboles and examples from nature, from drinking water all the way down to vomit in verse 11. Verse 1, like snow in the summer and like rain in the harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. It's not nice to have snow when you're trying to, well, in the summer there shouldn't be snow, it's just not fitting. Verse 2, like a sparrow and it's fitting, like a swallow and it's flying, so a curse without cause does not alight. A whip is for a horse, a bridle for the donkey, and the rod for the back of fools. Commonly repeated statement about the rod for the back of the fool. Verse 4, do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you'll be like him. So verse 4 and 5 are quite interesting. They have almost like a contradiction where it says do not answer, and then verse 5 says this is how you answer. But it's interesting, it says do not answer a fool according to his folly. In other words, don't stoop to his level, don't answer and entertain his conversation. But it doesn't say don't answer at all. And we see sometimes with Jesus would have a question, then he'd answer with another question. He didn't sort of entertain that question. And it goes on to say, verse 5, answer a fool as his folly deserves. So you bring that folly into light, you tell him the truth, that he not be wise in his own eyes. You don't want to entertain the nonsense and be part of just listening and nodding your head and going along with what the fool has to say. Verse 6, he cuts his own feet and drinks violence, who sends a message by the hand of the fool. And so we need to also be careful who we come alongside, who we give responsibility to. If you go and give a message to a fool, it's like cutting your own feet off. It's quite a strong picture of disabling yourself. Verse 7, like the legs which are useless to the lame, so is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. So again, a very strong comparison, useless legs and the proverb in the mouth of the fool. Just no sense, no wisdom coming from the fool. Verse 8, like one who binds a stone in a sling, so is he who gives honor to a fool. You're never going to take a big stone and try to fling that. You're always going to take a pebble, something small. It's just doesn't go into the sling. And so honor for a fool, it just doesn't fit giving honor to a fool. Verse 9, like a thorn which falls into the hand of a drunkard, so is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. It's another strong analogy. If you can picture a thorn in a drunkard's hand, you just can't possibly pull a thorn out or even hold a thorn without damaging himself. Verse 10, like an archer who wounds everyone, so is the hire of a fool, or those who pass by. So a bad archer is not getting the target, those arrows are going into everyone around him. So it would be crazy to hire a fool who's going to just damage everyone who comes into his path. Then the famous one in verse 11, like a dog that returns to its vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. And this one is repeated in 2 Peter 2 in context with the Pharisees or those righteous. It says, for it would be better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than having to known it and turn away from the holy commandment handed unto them. It has happened to them according to the true proverb, a dog returns to its own vomit, and a sow after washing returns to wallowing in the mire. And so a fool never learns. He continues to make the same mistakes over and over again. Verse 12, this is quite an interesting one. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There's more hope for a fool than for him. And so a strong warning. We just learned so much about how dangerous a fool is and how useless a fool is. And so If you think that you are wise in your own eyes, you're even worse than that fool. And so just a strong warning for us to be proud, think that we've got it together, not be able to receive instruction, not be able to receive a rebuke, not to examine our own hearts, but to walk with that self-righteousness is very, very dangerous.